Hi, Todd here from Urban Sound Studio, and today we're taking a look at drum overhead and cymbal miking techniques. For each example, we are going to focus only on the stereo pair and no direct microphones. We're using a matched set of AKG 414s, and we're putting the bass roll-off at 80 Hz to remove the sound of the kick drum. Let's jump on in and listen to some initial examples. XY is about as safe as you could get with the stereo pair in terms of Monoc compatibility. One area of caution is that you make sure your 90-degree angle always allows the capsules to be unobstructed. If using large diaphragm condensers, you can overlap them a bit. With small pencil condensers in a stereo bar, you might need to build yourself a riser out of adapters to keep the proper angle and make sure they're not obstructing each other. Blumlein is basically XY, but with a figure of 8 pattern instead of cardioid. Some microphones like this AEA R88 are built as a stereo mic, making them easy to place. In this case, we changed the polar pattern and used the same XY placement we previously used. ORTF is similar to XY, but creates a wider stereo image and mimics the way we hear with our ears. When starting out, you could even print a piece of paper to show the 17-centimeter distance and 110-degree spread. I love these 3D printed adapters from SRS recording services that you could purchase online from Shapeways from Scott Shepard. They put the microphones in the exact right spot. He makes them both for XY and ORTF patterns. Glyn Johns is a great technique when you want a natural sound. Maybe you're miking a jazz kit, classical kit, or you don't want that extreme hard left, hard right sound. Just make sure one microphone is above the snare and the second microphone is the same distance behind the right ear of the drummer. Once in the DAW, you can adjust the pan and levels to taste rather than needing to use a super wide stereo spread. Space pair is an easy technique in theory. You put one microphone above the hi-hat side and one microphone above the ride side. The center of the kit is usually a line from the snare to the kick through the middle tom, which angles the placement. Then if you take a close look at the kit, typically we tilt our mic pairs to get the proper balance, where they'll be slightly lower on the ride side. Just make sure the distance from the snare to each microphone is the same for time alignment. Also, the closer you get to the cymbals, the more drastic the stereo spread will sound. Make sure to never get so close to the cymbal's edge that the mic picks up the swaying of the cymbal in the microphone to create a phasey sound. Last up is mid-side. To keep it short, point one microphone in a cardioid pattern directly at the kit and one microphone in a figure of 8 pattern to the side of the kit. When we're in the DAW, we will copy the figure of 8 mic, pan one hard right and the other hard left, and invert the polarity of these mics. This gives you 2 side mic sounds for the room sound and the mid microphone for the direct center image. For our examples, I'm using a blend of these microphones that's somewhere in between the possible settings. Now let's do some more listening. Before our last example, I want to point out a few reminders. The only person that really gets the sound of a stereo drum kit is the drummer. So think about it when you're miking your drums. The further you get away from the drums, the more of a complete natural sound you get from the kit. The closer you get to the direct left and right side or the cymbals, the more of an unnatural stereo spread you'll get, but with a lot more impact. Thanks for watching. Which one did you like the best? And do you have any tips of your own you'd like to share? If so, please leave them in the chat below. And as always, please help support the channel by liking the video and hitting subscribe.